Here we are again on the Israel National Trail, Shvil Yisrael, and we're in Emek HaElah, the western end of the Elah Valley, where David fought Goliath. And you can see in the distance over there, right about there, the Hebron Hills, and the stretching to what would be known as the Jerusalem Hills, this whole ridge reaching from Jerusalem in the north, which is really there, down to Hebron, all the way south to there. And this then is the beginning of the coastal plain, or we're in the Jerusalem foothills, as it were. But here we are at Kibbutz HaLamed, the kibbutz named after what's called the 35. And what is the 35? I wanted to share at least a few minutes of a story about the Lamed Hey, the 35, and relate it to one of the themes that I've been talking about lately, which is forgiveness. In brief, there was an attempt by the Palmach to make their way up to Gush Etzion, to the hills up there during the War of Independence, and on their way, in the middle of the night, the early hours in the dark of the morning, the troops, small unit, came across an Arab shepherd, and they stopped this man, and they argued amongst themselves whether to let him go or to kill him. And in the end, they let him go with a promise of keeping secret. And he didn't. And in the end, this group, this unit of the Palmach, of the Haganah, of the original Jewish warriors for independence, time of the Independence War, 1947-48, were ambushed because of the information that this man that they had caught and then released gave to the Jordanian Legion. And the Jordanians wiped them all out, just massacred them. And this kibbutz was established, called Kibbutz Lamed for the 35 victims of that massacre. And what's important is that they didn't just fight a battle and were defeated, but they in fact surrendered and then were killed, murdered, not as part of the battle itself. And I'm sharing that with you within the context of forgiveness, to understand what I learned, what I read about in my book, in my Israel Trail, is the importance of forgiveness, which I've spoken about before, on a personal level, on a communal level, political, or what have you. But here I want to talk about how important it is when we talk about reconciliation, when we talk about finding some resolution, finally, to the Arab-Israel conflict. The kind of forgiveness that we need as a nation, both of us, the Arab nation and the Jewish nation, to find in our hearts is the ability to forgive such a tragic and horrible historical act like this. And maybe one day the Kibbutz HaLamed can be visited with reference to perhaps 35 heroes of peace, 35 warriors for peace that bring peace between Arabs and Jews in this land. I'll leave that thought there at Kibbutz Lamed, the Kibbutz of the 35, on the Israel Trail. And this is my Israel Trail.